Hi everyone. Let me introduce you to this provider called TAIGER. TAIGER is one of the Asia's fastest growing AI company. Okay, their solutions are also fully accredited by IMDA Singapore. So we're so privileged actually for us to be able to listen to TAIGER and how their technology can help us in our social service sector. Over to you, Cheryl. And Dennis actually will be inside these presentations. Okay, over to you,
Thank you.
Cheryl.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cheryl, and I'm with my colleague Dennis. We are from TAIGER. So as the introduction, we are an artificial intelligence company, and we are very excited to be able to share with you more about TAIGER and what we have to offer to help out in the social service and social work sector. So TAIGER uses AI to solve real-world problems. This ranges from operational inefficiencies to information gaps and a lack of insights. TAIGER specializes in helping organizations to increase productivity as well as to reduce costs through smarter technology. TAIGER was founded in Europe in 2009 and is now currently headquartered in Singapore. We have an extensive global reach. So as you can see from the slide, we have offices around the world, such as in Mexico, New York, Madrid, Dubai, Hong Kong, and we have also plans to open offices in Seoul and Tokyo. We currently have more than 130 employees worldwide, and we are also backed by the Singapore government through the accreditation by IMDA, which means that we are also on the green lane. So now let's dive right into how TAIGER can change the way that social workers work. We started with understanding what the current situation is. We found that due to the wide range of assistance that social workers provide and the lack of a smart search engine, junior social workers often have to resort to consulting their seniors to get the answers that they need. So, for example, a junior social worker might have a client who is an ex-offender and they need to find an appropriate shelter for this ex-offender. The junior social worker might not know where to begin and hence resort to asking their seniors on what is an appropriate shelter. And this would often end up in a lot of time where the junior social worker would need to wait for their senior's response, and the senior would need to carve out time to answer these queries. So we thought, why not have a smart search engine that can help to handle all these queries that the junior social workers might have? That would mean that the queries can be answered more efficiently and accurately. This would save not only the junior social workers' time, but the seniors as well. So you might ask, how exactly does this look like? So I will describe three main benefits of TAIGER's smart search engine. Firstly, it is easier to search and find the right information. TAIGER's search technology uses natural language processing and ontology, which enables the user to search by intent and semantics rather than just using keywords. For example, say you would like to search for information on maids or domestic helpers. TAIGER's search engine is also able to pick up relevant results which might not even include those keywords that are used and might include other relevant results that have content related to, let's say, foreign domestic workers, which is also an appropriate result. So this means that the results would be more accurate and less clicks would be needed to find the answers required. You could also even discover more information related to your query that you didn't know that you were looking for. So TAIGER's smart search engine is also able to search through contents within the document and not just the title or the name of the document. The idea also that we have is to provide one unified or integrated search engine where you only need to go to one single platform to search for anything that you might be looking for. And that could include anything within your document management system or case management system, standard operating procedures, or even any information in external sites. So next, we have the ease of building the search engine as another benefit. And a lot of times when I talk about search engine, people might be concerned that a lot of effort is required to build it. So we'd like to assure you that there's minimal effort required to build the search engine. And what TAIGER would need is only the standard operating procedures or an FAQ list to start building the ontology. Thirdly, the other benefit is the ease of maintaining the information. So There's no need for any additional effort or change from the current practice that social workers might be doing currently. For example, if there is a new document that you would like to save in your document management system, simply continue the way that you're doing today, and TAIGER search engine is able to detect, let's say there is a change in the type of document that is uploaded, or there is a document that's removed or added into the system. TAIGER's search engine is able to detect that change and update the database accordingly. So now I would pass the time to my colleague Dennis, who would be showing a demonstration of how the search engine might look like. Over to you.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome everyone. So my name is Dennis. I'm from TAIGER. I'm the technical sales manager. So now I'm trying to do a demo regarding how the TAIGER search engine can help the social worker. So in this demo, I would like to introduce to you that, let's say the usual challenge faced by a social worker is that they need to find a piece of information which involve a lot of time to research. Let's say to go to the public website. Let's say, for example, there are on the screen, I'm showing you a list of 6 public websites for 6 organizations which are providing a social service for different types of client. Based on their different gender, different age group, and different reasons. Yeah, let's say for this one, right? Casa Ruda Women's Home is for the woman. This one, Home Shelter for the foreign domestic worker. The Lakeside, this one more for the families. And also there are 3 other sites, like this one, the New Hope Community Services, SCWO, and the Good Shepherd Center, also called the Marymount Center. Okay, so in this demo, what we do is that we have actually provisioned the search engine. It will periodically crawl this different 6 public websites for this social service, and we actually build a knowledge graph, or we build the ontology, yeah, in the social work domain, so that during the coding process, we'll be able to build the knowledge. We'll extract the key phrases regarding what this center does, and also we will tag it, and also we will create the index, so that the social worker can actually find the information more easily and accurately. So let's say, for example, right, let's say a social worker, instead of going to ask their senior about what is the shelter for the problem gambler, she can actually go to this search bar, right, and type and ask the question in natural language. And here you can also see that the search engine, since it has already built up and indexed all the key phrases, it is actually giving a suggestion while I'm typing. Problem gambler or problem gambling. And you can see that it actually recommend a number of sites. Let me try to do another one. What is the shelter for ex-offenders? Yeah, immediately you can see that it's actually show up 2 different centers being recommended by search engine. One is called New Hope Community Service. The other one is called Lakeside Family Services. Another thing you can do is that we can actually further do another type of search based on this, the idea that these two centers are actually the right shelter for this ex-offender. We can actually go down here. There's a lot of filters here where the social worker can go in and based on the search criteria, right? For example, the client come in is an ex-offender, and he is actually he has the problem of to be integrated into the society, right? He can't find a job. Let's say your client is an ex-offender. Here we can actually we can filter down. You can see that it already narrowed down to these 2 centers for ex-offender, which is the Lakeside and the New Hopes Center, which is the same as the recommendation here. And we can also go down to search based on the surface. Let's say for this ex-offender, he would like to have some kind of life skill training to get integrated into the society. Okay, now it further narrowed down to this one. the New Hope Center. From here, I can actually open up the tag. These tags are actually being crawled by the search engine based on the topic, based on the reason, the kind of beneficiency this center can actually serve. Okay, now you can see that this center not only serve the ex-offender, it can also serve other type of client like children, youth at risk, low-income family, displaced individual and families. And these are the scope of service provided by this center as well. You can see this as well. And from here, I can actually click the link. It will go directly to the website of this center, and you can have a full description about this shelter and what are the client it can support and what are the services. Let's say here, I can see that this transit point is actually built for the male ex-offender. Can provide them a shelter and also the kind of the life skill training. Let's go back to here. And essentially, how it is done is that you can see that the engine is actually crawling the text. And for this text, right, we are behind the scenes, we're actually bringing up an ontology. Let's say, yeah, this one, yeah. Refresh. So based on the text actually grabbed from the website, right, the engine is actually doing the auto classification and annotation, right, based on the different knowledge we want to extract from the document. So these are the key phrase being extracted from the website, and this is the original text. And also below you can see the ontology. This is the knowledge graph, how this service center is being represented in the search engine. It is why the engine can give a very accurate information and provide a very efficient search result. And the other thing I want to show is that the knowledge in the search engine, what we build is based on the ontology. Yeah, so you'll see that why we can support the natural language query to answer what are the best shelter for a certain kind of the audience is that we actually have create all these ontology graph behind the scenes, showing that the search engine is actually ready to answer the question from the human, who actually he would like to ask what is the best shelter for certain type of client, so that it will give the appropriate answer efficiently. And the other thing for the search engine is that not only we can crawl the public website, we can also crawl the internal website for organization. Let's say the file, you have some SOP document, you can put it in your in a share folder in your organization, or in a Sharepoint in the organization. The TAIGER search engine will be able to crawl those as well as if it is on a public website. So let's say I would like to check what is the SOP for walk in. You already see there is already a hint about the walk-in inquiry. So I just complete it. And then I choose the document source is based on the SOP, which is being put in a network drive. So you will see that it already returns some SOP procedure, which is actually being crawled by the search engine. We can try another query and say what, let's say ask something about the SSNet. What if SSNet you can't find your supervisor list? So here actually we can return this SOP document. We can open it. So here is actually mentioned the kind of procedure. What if in a scenario that the person cannot find the supervisor from this system, what he or she should do, right? Is based on this this SOP. And for this TAIGER search product, other than this search console, we also provide an ontology manager, which is really a very powerful tools. We will teach the customer how to use it and how to actually model the knowledge for the search engine. Let's say, for example, right, for this demo, we have create a number of objects and classes. Let's say we define the kind of shooter, and the shooter with their okay. So from this, for the TAIGER search engine, we actually provide two interfaces to the user. One is the search console, which is actually for the end user, right, to search it like the Google search, right? And the other one is the ontology manager. It's actually the brain of the search engine, how we can model the kind of the knowledge in the back end for the search engine to store the knowledge correctly. Let's say for this one, for the social work domain, what we would like to model is that, first of all, we would like to define what kind of shelter as a social work center. So here from this demo, we define 6 centers, right? So we define the instances, and also we define what is the synonym for shelter, because when the search engine go out to crawl the public website or go out to crawl a document, there are many different ways you can label a shelter, right? You can call it crisis shelter, you can call it a refugee place of refugees, place of social support, housing, whatever, right? So the richer of this synonym you build into the knowledge graph, the more effective it is in terms of crawling and try to store the information. Yeah, so they will be increase the hit rate about the matching the key phrases. Yeah, searches. Also, when you go in the individual shelter, we can also define the kind of relationship. Let's say for this one, Casa, Ruder, Woman Home, right? We can model this shelter based on different kind of relationship, right? Here we can define many different relationship. Let's say, what are the contact email, address, contact website, what are the age group it can surface, what are the gender it can surface, what are the reason for the people coming here, right, for the support, what are the target beneficiency, and what kind of scope of service it can provide. So here we can all define very clearly into a knowledge graph like this. So once we set this up, right, the search engine will be very, very effectively, whatever unstructured document or website or SOP document you throw into it, right, you will be able to annotate, right, the kind of the knowledge correctly. So the end result will be something like this, right? You can annotate the document very correctly. We extract the correct key phrases without any noises. This is the way why how the search engine works, right? So we can actually we model the information into the knowledge system. So I hope that this will give the audience a sense of how this search engine product can help the customer. So yeah, this will be very powerful, and it will be a very effective, yeah, for the day-to-day work for the social worker. And the last thing is that all of this is actually automatic. Yeah, I can also show you the back end. This is something that the looks very technical and complicated, but is not, right. It's not for the end user to maneuver it. Yeah, it's really for when TAIGER come to the project, we actually set this up, right. We will actually set up the different crawler. We call the data connector. It connect to different social website. We crawl this one, and we can also crawl the file system, right, or the Sharepoint, and we can actually also set up the sync interval, which is actually a periodic interval when it should update the indexes. We can create a auto sync schedule. It can be very, very flexible. It can down to every minute, every hour, every day, or every month. Yeah, this is we have a very powerful. We can create very powerful scheduling. How frequent the search engine should synchronize with the data source. So I hope that this will give the audience some idea, yeah, how this search engine can help them in the day-to-day workflow and the business process. Yeah, so I think this is the end of the demo. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for the detailed demonstration. I would also like to share more about another offering that TAIGER has, which might be useful in the social workspace too. I'm sure everyone has heard or has even interacted with a chatbot before, and some might even say that they did not have a very good experience, myself included. Because chatbots can be very static, reactive, robotic, and impersonal. And that's what inspired TAIGER to want to develop a virtual assistant that can be more dynamic, more anticipatory, relational, and personalized. So TAIGER's virtual assistant is called Converse. And firstly, I'd like to go through the different features of Converse. So I'll start with inclusiveness. With the use of natural language processing, you can ask a question in any form and in different ways. So here is one example of how you might be able to get the same appropriate answer while asking a question in a different way, such that if you're looking for a bag storage service, the chatbot can still give you the appropriate answer. And is also able to support different types of mediums. For example, not just text, but also videos and audio files too. The next feature is interoperability. This means that systems can talk to other systems. And with this feature, knowledge can be shared across departments or even family service centers to increase access to information and leverage on the knowledge from different groups. TAIGER has also developed a multi-agency virtual assistant, or MAVA for short, MAVA. There are a number of government agencies that are already on board, and MAVA leverages on the shared knowledge base, starting with the area of procurement. And so this knowledge base can be shared across the whole of government or across ministry levels. And it's good because it reduces the cost, and you can share information that is very common across ministries and whole of government. So this kind of model can also be applied in the social work sector too, where maybe family service centers can share information that can be common across the FSCs. So interoperable also means it's able to integrate with multiple offerings. And in this example, search is integrated with Converse. So if you remember, search is the TAIGER search engine and Converse is the virtual assistant. So this is where the two are married together. And here's an example of how you might ask the virtual assistant Converse a question, and Converse is able to point you to the answer within a document, which uses search to find that document, and then point you to the entire document and the section where you can find the answer from. Yeah, so it's also an easy to set up, as TAIGER has devised a way to transfer data seamlessly. Lastly, Converse is insights driven. So what do I mean by that? How do we know if Converse has been useful or well received by the users? Well, TAIGER has metrics to measure the usefulness of Converse. And through these metrics, you can discover what kinds of questions are frequently asked, what are the kinds of training gaps, and how do you fill those gaps, and how do you improve on those processes. So as you can see how many conversations were had. Every single conversation on Converse is also saved. And there's an overview of how many users, what is the goal completion, how much time is taken for each conversation, and so on and so forth. Yeah, we also have a recommendation engine in Converse. So for example, TAIGER has built a virtual assistant for NCSS called Kara, Caring and Resourceful Assistant. And this helps to match volunteers with volunteering opportunities based on the profile of the person who is volunteering. And they can state their preferences, such as how often would they like to volunteer, what kind of location are they looking at, and what kind of target group, is it youth or elderly, and those kinds of things. So Ask Kara is able to help to match volunteers with the opportunities that are available. So I've described two of TAIGER's offerings, which are Search and Converse. We actually have one more called Extract. This is a data extraction tool that is used to extract values from unstructured documents so that it can be organized in a very useful fashion. But in the interest of time, I will not be able to go into the details. And also just to share, there are other products outside of these three main offerings that TAIGER has, and they're all on one platform called the Knowledge Process Optimization, which is seen on the very first slide. So if you have any questions, if you'd like to find out more, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Cheryl and my contact information is on the last slide. Thank you so much for watching.